Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm your host, Owen Smith, with What's the Word. Today's episode is a little different and very special. This time, I'm not just joined by a guest, I'm joined by someone who has been an essential part of our podcasting journey, my incredible co-host, Abigail Bradbury.
Hi, thanks for having me on. This is so exciting.
You're very welcome. Thank you for joining again. Now, this episode is very bittersweet, as this is the last episode we're recording with Abigail before she's graduating from Embry-Riddle and moving on to some new adventures. So today we're taking a moment to, well, reflect, to celebrate, of course, and to send her off. Let's kick it off in the way we always do. So, Abigail, tell us a little bit about where you're heading on to next and what you're most excited about in, well, your new chapter.
So once I finish up here in Prescott, I will be moving back to the great state of Texas, where I'm from. I'm so excited to be moving back because honestly, I've missed the heat and the humidity, which I know sounds crazy, but I do. Once I get to Texas, I am going to try and get my CFI. That way I can start to get some hours and hopefully move up and on to greater things in the future. I'm super excited, honestly, about all the opportunities that are going to come with this. I mean, being in Prescott was amazing because of all the opportunities that Embry Riddle gave me, and it really prepared me for more opportunities in the future that are to come. So that's probably what I'm most excited about leaving Embry Riddle.
Sounds awesome. Heading back home and starting your professional life. And as you prepare to enter the professional world, well, what kinds of writing or communication do you anticipate on using most often?
I would like to say that I would use like report writing or some super fancy type of writing, but I'm actually not sure. Just based on writing that I've done in the past, especially like this past year or so, I would probably have to say email, which doesn't sound like a typical form of writing, but there's definitely an art I've found to writing a good email that will actually like get you what you need and have people not be super mad or upset when they're reading your email. I've definitely read some emails where I'm like, oh wow, and then I've read some that are like, oh wow, that's a really nicely written email. So probably that, but we'll see. Who knows? There's so many different forms of writing out there.
Oh, well, absolutely. You got stuff from all corners. But would you be able to describe this like the secret sauce to your emails? Like your
Yeah, I mean, just based off of emails that I usually write, I'll usually start with, oh, a nice good morning. How are you? Hope this email finds you well. And then I'll usually go into actually what the email's about. And I actually took this little trick from Dr. Chesley where I always end every single one of my emails with happy whatever day it is. So if it's Friday, it's happy Friday. And I found that a lot of people will actually come up to me and they'll be like, I love your little happy Friday thing, which I thought is so funny because I loved it so much when Dr. Chesley would send me emails and I was like, I need to use this.
Oh, that's actually very wholesome. I love that. I've always done like thank you for your time as just being respectful, but I'll definitely add that too. Thank you. Reflecting on your time here at Riddle, versus what you've experienced in the professional world so far, if you have, like kind of what similarities and differences stand out in how writing and communication is handled.
So I actually have to go back to some of the other interviews that I've done, and a lot of people will say that it's different because you're not writing for a grade anymore. Which in my major, I didn't have to do a ton of writing, but when I did, I was definitely only writing just to get that grade. But when I actually started writing more over the summer for my job, this job, and then my other job, I found that you actually have to put a little bit more thought into it because there's not a rubric. They're just wanting you to say what you need to say rather than trying to grade you on how you're saying it, which I thought was kind of cool because when I was doing all these interviews, I was like, oh, yeah. And it didn't really apply to me until actually now when I'm starting to see more of what other alumni have been saying.
That's cool. With that, kind of looking back, what would you say was the most impactful lesson you've learned while you've been here at Riddle about writing or effective communication, whether it's from this podcast or classes or even just during the few years you've been here?
Ooh. Oh, that's such a good question. Probably time management. There have definitely been weeks where I definitely bit off more than I could chew, and I was struggling to get everything I needed to get done. And the nice thing about working with this podcast is I was able to be super flexible with how I did it, and I was able to work around my other schedule, but definitely learning how to effectively manage my time with everything that I wanted to get done because I tried to do a lot of different things while I was here just to kind of branch out. So it was kind of a struggle in the beginning.
I completely understand. I completely understand doing as much as you can, trying to get involved. And sure, I remember last semester myself, I had 12, 14-hour days doing all the different things I was doing.
Oh
I'm
geez.
sure every student listening has that exact same that understanding.
Yep, I sure hope they do because you get a lot out of it when you branch out and do a lot of different things.
Yeah, exactly. If you could go back in time and give freshman Abigail one piece of advice before stepping into the classroom, what would it be? What would you say?
So when I came here, I was super, super shy. My freshman year, I kept to myself quite a lot. And I would probably tell freshman Abby that everybody's in the same boat as you are. You don't know anybody. Go out and say hi to somebody because you never know. I mean, I am actually one of my friends that I met, and I'm the maid of honor in her wedding in October, and I never would have gotten that opportunity or seen how amazing she is if I had never gone and said hi. So probably that, just to get out of your comfort zone a little bit and go talk to a lot of people.
Wow. What an amazing story. That's gonna be something to tell for forever. Wow. And
Right?
congratulations to your friend. Congratulations to you. And that's gonna be such an awesome experience. All from just saying
Yeah,
hi.
I'm excited. Right, right. It's crazy.
Would you like to add anything
Yeah,
else?
yeah. Let's. Well, I have a few questions for you, Owen, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Kind of turn the tables a little
Oh
bit.
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's your questions? Go ahead.
Yeah. So, kind of taking over this podcast, what are you most looking forward to?
Just thinking back to my first couple podcasts and continuing on my favorite part about being a host on What's the Word and just everything to do with it is meeting people that have different experiences at Embry-Riddle and hearing those experiences and seeing kind of what they got out of being here at Embry-Riddle and kind of spreading their word and hearing all these stories that I'd never hear anywhere else. Like I'd never hear Natalia Barraza's story about kind of how her path through Embry-Riddle and just kind of her story of kind of who she is. And hearing those individual stories is honestly my favorite part about it. And that's what I would love to continue to do and will love to continue to do.
That's awesome. It's definitely very wholesome, as you say, when you get to hear about all these stories and all these people graduated and went through Embry Riddle and now they're off doing such amazing things with their lives. It's very inspiring.
Exactly. And that's best part about this podcast, in my opinion.
I have to agree. That's probably what I'm gonna miss the most. But I do have one more question for you, Owen. Where do you see this podcast going in the future? This was me and Dr. Chesley's kind of baby project. So where do you see it going? I'm excited to see with where you take it.
Ooh, that's a great question. Where do I see this? Where do I see what's the word in a couple of years here? Well, continuing to gather all these amazing stories and I know it's a thing for Prescott campus as of now. However, I have been thinking about it a lot over the summer, honestly. If we possibly expand and hear more and more of our stories from even worldwide and even Daytona, and just kind of expanding and gathering more of a collection. of such amazing people and outstanding examples of Embry-Riddle and the community that's here.
Oh, well, I'm so excited, and I can't wait to be listening to the podcast in the future with Worldwide and Daytona people on it.
Shoot, where would you like to go from here, Abby?
Oh, I don't know. This is so crazy. I mean, when Dr. Chesley approached me with this podcast idea, I was her TA for her professional writing class or business writing class. But she approached me, and I was kind of iffy. I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm able to make a podcast." And the first few people, it was definitely trial and error. And so, if you guys are listening, thank you so much for being our guinea pigs, if you will, and being so patient with us. We had to do a lot of re-recording, a lot of re-editing, but I'm proud to say how far it's come. It's truly been amazing.
Oh, it's it's like it's so bittersweet. Oh gosh. Well, Abigail, thank you. Your work has truly shaped what's the word into something that is extremely meaningful, and heck, we'll miss you more than you know. And thank you again for joining me today and sharing a bit about kind of your story and well what your future holds, and of course asking me a couple questions about the future of the podcast itself. And yeah, would you like to send us out?
I would love to, Owen. Thank you. First, thank you for having me on the podcast. I really loved getting the flip side of it. And I guess with my final send off, I hand the reins over to you, Owen. I'm excited to see what you're going to do with this podcast.
Well, thank you very much. Future is bright. I really think it is.
I
Maybe
think so.
maybe we can have you back in a little while.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that.
This podcast is supported by the Department of Humanities and Communication at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University in Prescott, Arizona. Our hosts are Abigail Bradbury and Owen Smith. Matthew Haslam is the department chair, and I'm Amelia Chesley, assistant professor of professional writing. Many thanks to the Prescott Campus Writing and Design Lab for hosting our transcripts. The intro and outro music is Wanderer by Alex. You can find us where most podcasts are found, and please do reach out if you are a Prescott Campus alum. We'd love to feature you in a future episode.